What in the Mercury retrograde is going on? Yes, I know Mercury has gone direct, but the Chrisleys who are locked up just won a $1 million settlement from the state of Georgia. Who, what, where? Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it's been a while since we talked about Todd Chrisley or Julie Chrisley. I put them on a timeout the same way that I don't talk about former Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star inmate Jen Shaw. I put these people on timeout. I don't want to hear about them. We talked about their daughter and her privilege and how delusional she might be in regards to,
the conditions that my father and mother are dealing with are terrible. This is an unjust system.
Okay, you remember, if you missed any of our reports on Todd Chrisley and Julie Chrisley and what they were accused of and why they are serving the time that they're serving, please go back and look. We will link you to some of the videos here. All right. But our friends over at Entertainment Weekly are reporting that Todd and Julie Chrisley recently had a win in jail. Okay. So they write this. They says Todd and Julie Chrisley have something to celebrate, even while behind bars. The former reality stars who are currently serving time for fraud and tax evasion received a $1 million settlement from the state of Georgia. So the couple had filed a lawsuit against Joshua Waits, the former director of special investigations of the State Department of Revenue in 2019, alleging that he had committed misconduct in connection with his investigation of the Chrisleys. We have been saying for months that the criminal case against the Chrisleys was highly unusual and had real problems, the family's attorney, Alex Little of Burr and Foreman LLP said in a statement. He continues, this settlement is an encouraging sign. The statement continued, it's nearly unprecedented for one arm of government to pay money to defendants when another arm is fighting to keep them in jail. The Chrisleys were cleared of a $2 million state tax evasion case in Georgia in 2019 and subsequently filed a lawsuit against Waits, claiming he was specifically targeting their family. Reps for the state of Georgia Department of Revenue did not immediately respond to Entertainment Weekly's request for comment. So despite beating the state charges, the couples were later indicted by a federal grand jury for 12 counts of bank and wire fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy, all of which they have denied. The stars of the Chrisley Knows Best were found guilty of conspiracy to defraud banks out of more than $30 million in fraudulent loans, as well as several other federal charges of tax evasion in June of 2022. Here's the thing before we continue. The fact that they were indicted on federal charges and now are serving time says that there was smoke here. The reason why they're getting this settlement was because the state of Georgia and this specific person was the means in which they went to get this information, the means in which they gathered this information. The state of Georgia probably said, well, you know what he did was inappropriate. It wasn't in line. It wasn't maybe legal. But they decided to do a settlement. All right. I'll continue. So they say this. They said they were originally sentenced to be a combined 19 years in prison, but last September, Todd's sentence was reduced to about 10 years from 12, while Julie's was reduced to about 5 years from 7. Before you know it, these two will be out of jail, and then they will get some sort of reality show, and everyone will love it up, and they will make more money. And this is my job to remind you, if this was someone else, more like this. If this was someone else, we wouldn't be talking about this. All right? Not to say that if you do anything wrong that you should be rewarded for it, but I'm just pointing out the difference. All right? Guys, don't forget our Kempire After Dark tour is coming to New York City on January 25th, then Washington, D.C. on February 16th. Tickets are still available, including meet and greet tickets. If you enjoy hot topics, reality TV talk, or topics like what we're talking about in this video, be sure to join us for our kitchen table talk during the Kempire After Dark tour. More information on how you can get your tickets while ticket supplies last will be available in the description of this video. Can't wait to see you guys on the road. So the Chrisleys are best known, as you know, for their reality show, which followed real estate tycoon Todd Chrisley and his wealthy family for 10 seasons on the USA Network. The show was canceled upon Todd and Julie Chrisley's sentencing in November of 2022, along with the spinoff series Growing Up Chrisley, which centered around their children, Chase and Savannah. According to the Chrisleys' attorney, their appeal of their criminal convictions will be heard by the Federal Appeals Court in Atlanta in April. So we will keep you updated in regards to that in April. I don't see that changing, but you never know. We didn't expect to be reporting that the Chrisleys would be awarded this settlement of $1 million. But I believe they owe quite a few as well in regards to this tax evasion situation. But still, this is going to help, but it's probably going to go to all their legal fees. It's not cheap to fight something like this. It's not cheap to put in appeals for things like this. But like I said to you before, when these two get out of jail, and they will be out of jail before you know it, because time is flying, especially his wife. And didn't I hear that they were working on a reality show with Savannah and things like that? Who knows? Maybe it hasn't gotten greenlit yet. But Savannah continues with her podcast. I listened to that and it's like, I don't know how people... Podcasts are meant for listening pleasure. It's not pleasurable listening to Savannah whine about her privilege. It's not. It's not. And she's very delusional. But I'm not surprised. So if you watch the show, and I'm not going to sit here and act as if I wasn't a fan of the Chrisleys Knows Best. It was so pre-produced, but it was light, fun, energy. Todd was delusional. You may recall during this criminal investigation and this trial, it came out, that might be the right words, allegedly we'll say, because we don't really have any solid proof of this, that one of the people that testified against Todd claimed that they had an intimate relationship. But for years, Todd has been battered with rumors that he was homosexual, and he has denied that. But one of the great things about Todd and him being in reality TV was his over-the-top, sassy personality. And like I said, the Chrisley Knows Best show was very pre-produced, but it's one of those pre-produced shows that you didn't mind. You were like, you know what? I find them funny. I find them interesting. But finding out later that he was stealing money, lying, frauding, it's sad because it's situations like this, and I've talked about this before, it's situations like what Todd has been convicted of, what Julie has been convicted of, which they almost got their mother convicted of, is that it makes it worse for other people that are going to the bank, trying to get loans, these particular situations make it worse for people. So they're part of the problem when it comes to if people are trying to get loans for things. People are out here lying, scheming, doing all those things. They make it worse for the average Joe that aren't millionaires, that just want to have a home, have a business, do something, work for themselves and not have to work for someone else. It's situations like this that make it worse for those people like you and I. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this $1 million settlement that Todd Chrisley and Julie Chrisley recently won while behind bars. As always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse.